And we do want to welcome in now Tracy Walder, NewsNation contributor and former CIA officer and FBI special agent. Tracy, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Natasha.
Tracy, so we just heard from our reporter, Evan Lambert, that search for Cavalcante now focused in an area less than a square mile. How on earth, with all of this law enforcement presence, is he hiding successfully in a single square mile?
I think that's the essential question, right? As Evan said, this is 1 square mile. So you have that 1 square mile coupled with all of these sightings. I don't think I've seen more reported sightings of an escaped convict than I have with Mr. Cavalcante. I mean, it's really a lot. I think there might be a few things that are complicating this. The first one is that this is a very densely wooded area, and I am sure that they are using drones equipped with IR sensing technology or infrared sensing technology. However, IR and wood are not best friends, and it can really disperse a lot of the heat, making it really difficult for them to find him. I know that they are bringing in horses, police officers on horses to assist in the ground search, but that's much more difficult to do than an aerial search, which usually can be resolved rather quickly. I also think, too, this is an individual who spent a lot of time in the jungles of Brazil and then made his way illegally into the United States. So this is someone that can stay hidden for a very long period of time and really went under the radar of the government.
You know, what needs to be top of mind as well for law enforcement as they are zeroing in, knowing that this is a man wanted for killing in Brazil. He stabbed his ex-girlfriend in this country 38 times in broad daylight in front of her children. Is this someone who has nothing left to lose tonight?
100%. Desperate people do desperate things, and he is an exceptionally desperate person who really has no care for humans and no care for life, quite frankly. And, they were using his mother's voice, I think, to try to lure him out earlier on in this investigation. And though I understand that you want to try everything, he's not going to be lured out by something like that. This is an extremely desperate person. I would think at this point, if he has been in and out of homes, my concern would be that he's armed potentially at this point as well, whether it be with knives, whether it be with firearms. I think that should really be top of mind, and that he's extremely armed, dangerous, and truly has nothing to lose, which is what makes this so dangerous.
And to your point, he was spotted on camera shortly afterwards. That's that first surveillance spotting with a backpack shortly after escaping. How did he likely come across supplies or a bag like that? Does that indicate that he had some sort of help from the outside, or that just his incredible resourcefulness?
That was actually a question I had very early on. I think the day that this all happened was we saw that Ring camera or that surveillance camera footage of him with this backpack. And so I would want to know, was this something that was pre-planted that he was able to use from his walk, run, whatever, from the jail to the road? I think that's really important. Or is this something that he picked up along the way from the houses where he was gathering food? That's really hard to say, but I do think once he's caught, they do need to see whether or not he had help and if this was pre-planned.
Okay, Tracy Walder, always appreciate the insight and time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.